Welcome to the Slow Living Collective podcast. I'm Amy, wife, mother of two and homemaker. Come along with me as I share my love for simple living, growing in my allotment garden, diving into what it means to be an urban homesteader and embracing life as a mother and homemaker. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Slow Living Collective podcast. Today I'm really excited to talk to you about one of my, I wouldn't say favourite topics, but something I really enjoy talking about, and that is about natural alternatives for household cleaning products. Now, we have been using natural cleaning solutions in our home for a while. I don't really know where it sort of stemmed from. I guess just with most things in our life, just reading, learning, always absorbing new information and things like that. I would say we live a pretty alternative lifestyle in terms of the way we think, the way we do, what things we are passionate about. I tend to think of us as stepping away from mainstream stuff in multiple areas, and just household cleaning stuff is just another one of those things. And I know you're probably laughing like, Amy, come on, household cleaning stuff and stepping outside of the norm, like, what are you talking about? But I just think cleaning products have been so normalized, and I get it, of course. I mean, up until I started trying to do stuff differently and use more natural stuff, I did exactly the same. I would buy all of these sort of industrial strength toxic cleaners from the supermarket, but when you know better, you do better. And I often share about natural cleaning products over on my Instagram, and it's always something I get a lot of questions about, people asking me, how do I make stuff? And it's super easy, so easy. And yeah, we moved away from household cleaning products, like supermarket ones, a really long time ago, and I've never looked back, because I know one of the most common misconceptions about natural cleaning solutions is that they aren't as good as your shop bought varieties and your bleaches and all of this sort of stuff. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Do you know what? Some of the cleaning products that I have made for around my home do the job equal, if not better, than some of these, brand named products that you can buy in the supermarket. And they're not toxic as heck either. So let's discuss. Let's talk about it. Why should we move to more natural cleaning products? Now listen, in an ideal world, it would be great if consumers were able to access better information and have more transparent products on the market. But I don't think it's going to happen. So, with that said, let's dive into what the concerns are over conventional cleaning products. So, one of the big ones for us was health risks. And there are so many chemicals in cleaning products that irritate so many parts of your body. A big one is your respiratory system. And so, if you suffer from any respiratory illnesses at all, like asthma, that these cleaning products, frequent exposure to them can just exacerbate these conditions. If you've got allergies, it can be a problem. There's often things like ammonia, bleach, chlorine, and these all release fumes that can irritate our lungs, our eyes, and our throats. And not only do they irritate our respiratory system, but they can often cause skin irritation as well. In fact, I'm sure all of us have had at least one time where a cleaning product has irritated our skin for some reason. So they can cause rashes, burns, or other irritations. Another big one is that it actually disrupts our endocrine system, and that is because products with fragrance in them, which is basically everything, have endocrine disruptors in them, which interfere with our body's hormone system. This can lead to things like reproductive issues, developmental problems, and other health issues. You've also got the fact that they can cause chemical burns. You can also be poisoned from them. It's just so far-reaching. And not only that, there is a lot of hidden chemicals in products as well. There's a complete lack of transparency in the cleaning product market. Not all ingredients are listed on labels, and that can sometimes be to trade secrets, and this just makes it so challenging for us to know exactly what is in something and what we're being exposed to. And I already mentioned about fragrance. There is, and I'm quote unquote fragrance, right? Because it's so ambiguous. The term fragrance is this sort of catch-all phrase for hundreds and hundreds of different chemicals, many of which are harmful to us and can also, cause allergies. And not just that, the worst of the worst is they're carcinogenic. And that means they have cancer-causing chemicals in them. And this means that they could have things like formaldehyde or dioxane, and these things are not always listed on the label. This means they have cancer-causing chemicals in them, and that we use them in an enclosed environment in our homes. We are breathing them in. They are on our skin. Man alive. It's just beyond for me. The health implications of these products are... I just don't even have the words. I do not have the words for the fact that these chemicals are even allowed into our hands and into our homes. But on top of the health impact, there's an environmental impact as well. So many of the cleaning products we use obviously end up going down our sinks, our plug holes. They, when we rinse things away or flush things away, these end up in our waterways. They are toxic to aquatic life. You'll often see things on products that say that it would, not to use it near aquatic life. And it disrupts the ecosystem. And so, even when things go through, treatment plants, as our wastewater does, it's not necessarily going to be fully removed, and that can end up in our rivers and our oceans or back in our drinking water. Good stuff. And then also you've got the air pollution. Obviously, products that are sprayed contribute to indoor air pollution, which is a lot worse than outdoor air pollution. But obviously these chemicals can also contribute to outdoor air pollution as well. Most chemicals in cleaning products do not break down or do not break down easily, and that leaves residue in water and soil. I just don't know. It's just awful. Obviously as well, they often come in plastic bottles, which we all know is no good for the environment, and cleaning product bottles generally can't be recycled, so end up in landfill or in the ocean. So that's great. And touching on indoor air pollution, a lot of cleaning products have VOCs, which means a volatile organic compound, and this means that they are basically a group of carbon-based chemicals that evaporate at room temperature, and so they can be in things like cleaning products, paints, aerosols, air fresheners. Air fresheners are horrendous, and even some building materials and furnishings, which, building materials we probably can't tackle at the moment, but yeah, many conventional cleaning products contain VOCs. So whether they're used or stored, they release these compounds basically into our air indoors. And so common ones are ammonia, which is commonly found in window and glass cleaners, formaldehyde, which is found in disinfectants and polishes, I don't know if I'm saying this right, terpenes, which is a fragrance which basically reacts with the ozone in the air to form secondary pollutants, which are harmful to us, which is great. But there are health implications as well of these VOCs. So it includes things like eye irritation, nose irritation, throat irritation, headaches, nausea, loss of coordination, skin reactions, allergy reactions, exacerbation of asthma symptoms, and then long-term exposure. Certain VOCs are suspected or known to cause cancer in humans. That's great, right? Chronic exposure can also lead to liver, kidney, and central nervous system damage. Guys, these are things that they allow us to have in our homes. It just blows my mind. And so when we release these VOCs indoors, they can also react with other indoor pollutants that we have and form even more harmful compounds. Great. I mean, oh man, it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. It just seems wild to me that these things are allowed to exist, right? And the information is out there. So yeah, I wanted to talk about why I switched. I think you can tell why I switched, but that's just a very sort of brief overview of why I had an issue with basically chemically based cleaners, especially when there are so many natural ways to clean that are great. We don't need to surround ourselves with all this toxic, grim, chemical, carcinogenic stuff. There are better ways. There are so many better ways. So let's dive into it. It's kind of amazing actually when I think about some of the stuff I use as cleaning products, because it's so simple. It's so simple. And after going through all of that's in our sort of like conventional cleaning products, it still just blows my mind. Even though I knew it all, it still blows my mind. And I think we're sort of very much in this sort of like social media, Mrs. Hinch, clean our houses within an inch of their life, which is fine, absolutely fine. Like, I enjoy clean house as much as anyone. But it's not necessarily doing us any good in terms of what we're using. And so you can absolutely continue to have that beautifully clean house and everything feeling fresh and clean without all of the health risks, hidden chemicals, environmental impact, and all of that gross stuff that we just went through. So some of the most common things that I have in when it comes to making my own stuff is vinegar, baking soda, lemons, essential oils if you want them, Castile soap is another one. And I'm going to go through some of the things that I use in different rooms and how I sort of clean naturally and not have all of these awful chemicals. So I'm going to start in the kitchen because that's the most common, and I'm going to go back over something I just said. I know that a common misconception when it comes to making your own cleaning products is that they're not going to be as good, they're not going to clean as well, or they're not going to be as antibacterial. And I'm here to tell you that it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Wipe your brain of that. Let's start over. Because it has already been proven that these ingredients do as good a job, are just as antibacterial, and we're just being fed a load of rubbish in terms of conventional cleaning products. So you can move forward safe in the knowledge that these things are going to do just as good job in terms of cleaning and their antibacterial properties and all such things like that. And I did want to address, just before I move on, because I've spoken about this at length on Instagram before, and people have said, oh, what about this product or that product? There are so many products on the market that claim that they are better. But also, these companies do a lot of greenwashing. Products that are marketed as green or natural or safe for the turtles or anything like that. They're sort of marketed like this without any criteria for any of these terms. They're so misleading to consumers who think they are making a better or a safer choice when actually you delve into some of the ingredients, you realise that, they're just as bad as their, supermarket counterparts, let's say. So if you really want to move down the toxic free route, I'm going to tell you all about some of the recipes I use. So like I said, I'm going to start in the kitchen because commonplace for making or cleaning. In fact, my kitchen is, I clean it in 10 minutes later, it's messy again. So it's a place where you need strong stuff, things that really do work. And so let's start with an all-purpose cleaner. The all-purpose cleaner I make is so simple, and it is just a ratio of 1:1, and that ratio is vinegar to water. And I just use 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water into a amber glass spray bottle, and I do add fragrance, not the fragrance that the standard cleaning product people add, not quote unquote fragrance. I do add a fragrance, whether it be an essential oil, or I might add a natural fragrance by using like lemon rinds or something like that. But yeah, very simple. 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of just regular water, and I don't know, let's say 20 to 30 drops of an essential oil. In my kitchen, I love orange, just a personal preference, but lemon is great as well as an essential oil for cleaning. So lemon, for example, has antiviral and antibacterial qualities. It's really great for just cutting through grease and grime. It adds a really nice scent. Orange oil, like I said, is also antifungal and antibacterial. Also great for grease and sticky residue. Smells amazing. Absolutely love it in the kitchen. If you are looking for something antifungal on top of that, tea tree oil is great, so you can add that in. Eucalyptus oil is a natural germicide. Lavender is another great one. I actually use lavender in my bathroom. Same makeup, 1:1, vinegar to water, and then have some lavender essential oil in there. That's also antifungal and antiviral, so that's good. It smells amazing too. Clove is great for mold and mildew, so that might be great for bathrooms, even though we're on kitchen at the moment. Just giving you some ideas. But like I said, I use orange in mine in the kitchen, and that's perfect. It smells good. It cuts through like any stickiness or grease or grime or just anything that you know what the kitchen's like. And so I use that as my sort of all-purpose cleaner. I will use that on all my surfaces, cupboard fronts, anything like that. In my sink is a linen stainless steel sink, which I love, but we recently redid the kitchen within the last 2 years, and that's when we replaced the sink, and I really, really wanted this linen stainless steel sink. It was my absolute, this is what I want. And it was funny because I'd seen that sort of feel, I don't know, it feels very unique, but I'd seen it in when we'd been away on holiday and been to a caravan and a lodge. It's generally the kind of sink they have, and I just really, really liked it. But it can get, particularly in our house anyway, it can get stained from coffee stains. So we drink, we grind our own coffee beans, we have a proper old coffee maker, and sometimes, as much as we try and save the coffee granules for the compost heap, inevitably some of it goes down the sink, and it can tend to stain that sink quite easily. And I accidentally found the best option ever for that. Cleans it up astonishingly, actually. So I also make, which I'm going to go on to in a minute, my own washing up liquid and my own hand wash for basically the bathroom and the kitchen. And I did the wrong ratio. And what I did was I did a 1-to-1 ratio like I would normally do my all-purpose cleaner. I did a 1-to-1 ratio with, when I was doing, I can't remember whether it was the hand soap or the washing up liquid now. I have a feeling it was the washing up liquid. But so I basically just did the ratios wrong, and I ended up using Castile soap and some vinegar and some water. So it's 1-to-1 Castile soap and water, a little bit of vinegar, and some essential oil. And then I was like, oh, this looks a bit sort of, a bit more liquidy than I was expecting, making the washing up liquid, because it's obviously more of like a soap consistency. And then I realised that I shouldn't have done that ratio to make the soap. I will tell you about the dish soap in a minute. But so what I ended up with was sort of like I'd used this Castile soap, 1 cup of Castile soap, 1 cup of water, I think 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and then an essential oil. And I was like, oh, I don't want to waste it. Like, I buy my Castile soap in like a 5-litre tub, but I don't want to tip it down the drain. So I was like, well, I have a spare amber spray bottle. Let's stick it in there and I can give it a go. Anyway, my sink was pretty coffee stained, and so I thought, well, I'll try it. I'll just use it on there. I sprayed it on, gave it a scrub with a wooden brush, and it just came up like new, like straight away. And having had that for 2 years, it has had chemicals on it in the past, because it was the only thing that would clean it up. In the past, I had used, I think, that Cif cream a couple of years ago when we first got it, and it was fine, but it still took a lot of work to get it up silver. This took it back to like perfection, and with 0 elbow grease. I literally just sort of sprayed it on, gave it just a regular scrub with the wooden brush, and it's beautiful. And that was a completely accidental find, so that's amazing. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stick all these recipes together on the blog, and I will link that in the notes as well, so you can find that with ease. But yeah, so that was just a surprise one for the kitchen. And then also, like I said, I make my own hand soap and I make my own washing up liquid as well. They're super easy. I purchased just a couple of, a really nice little set actually, of like pump bottles, and I got them, one says dishes and one says hands, and they look beautiful in my fairly newish kitchen. But yeah, so the what should we start with? Let's start with, I'm actually scrolling my Instagram to find the recipe, so this is why I'm delaying. Okay, so yeah, the homemade hand soap, I use 1 cup of liquid Castile soap, 1/4 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of vitamin E oil, and then I fragrance it with lavender essential oil. And I do that, that's the hand soap for the kitchen. In my bathroom, I also, same recipe, and instead of the lavender, I actually used, what essential oil was it? It's like a blend. Is it Nakura? I think is the brand, and I think it's called 4 Bandits. It smells incredible. Every time I wash my hands in the bathroom, I'm like, oh, it smells so good. Like, it smells like a regular soap. So that's really good. That's a super good recipe. And then for the washing up liquid, it's 1 cup of Castile soap, 1/4 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of vinegar, and then I use lemon essential oil or lemon rinds with that. And so there are just some really easy ways to use the cleaning products in the kitchen. So yeah, I think the things I haven't changed in the kitchen, I haven't got round to making my own dishwasher pods. It is on the agenda. You know, as with anything, you can't do everything. Start with one, start easy. Start where I started, if you like. I started with the all-purpose cleaner, and so easy. Once you've got the idea of this, how you make it, it takes seconds, absolute seconds to make. There's nothing complicated about it. Obviously, you do need to have the slight investment of the amber spray bottles. Amber is the best option because nothing inside like goes rancid in amber, and it protects like the essential oils and also, you know, the vinegar and the water and stuff. But yeah, super easy. So that's what I did. I bought a couple of the amber spray bottles, started with the all-purpose cleaner, and you know, once I'd got in my head that I was just doing 1 cup of water, 1 cup of vinegar, and then 20-ish drops of the whatever essential oil I'd chosen, it's now so easy. When I notice that the bottle is getting low, it's just a quick like cup of water, cup of vinegar, some essential oils, done. And it takes probably 30 seconds. Probably takes me longer to get like the cup measure out the cupboard and turn the tap on and things like that. So super easy. And yeah, I just always top up things like the hand soap and the washing up liquid at the same time. It's just really easy. And actually, as I just said about that like spray soap that I accidentally found, I came to the end of it. It was amazing also on the hob. I want to give it a try. I need to clean my oven, so I'll give it a try on the oven and let you know. But yeah, keep an eye on Instagram because that's where I generally share stuff. But yeah, so pleased. I've actually just remade that. So after messing up, I had to remember how I messed up so that I could remake it. But really fantastic. So that's the sort of stuff I use in the kitchen. Like I said, the bathroom, I generally just use like the all-purpose cleaner, which I fragrance with lavender, and I've got the soap up there. Toilet cleaner, I just use vinegar. And actually, me and my husband were joking the other day. You know, you can clean your toilet basically with Coca-Cola, and it brings it up sparkling white. Because we live in a very hard water area, so it's not always easy, even with like conventional products, to get everything, like get the lime scale down. It's a hard work in progress. But vinegar and essential oils does the job really well. But yeah, we were joking like maybe we should just use some Coca-Cola because it's horrendous, but cleans the toilet well. And so yeah, also vinegar on your windows works fine. My all-purpose cleaner works practically on everything. So you can just choose, you know, what you prefer. But yeah, like I said, lavender, lemon, orange, great for cleaning. Tea tree is good. I made, and I can't remember how I made it now, so if you guys follow me, you know that I'm stuck in a flat with no external wall system, no cladding, no insulation. It's a whole thing. I'm going to do an episode on it. I'm just working out how to do it so I don't get sued for libel or something. So yeah, I'm working on that. But because of that, we have had, only since our cladding was removed, we have damp and mould, which is miserable. But I was able to clean it off by making a mould solution, which wasn't a 1-to-1 ratio, but it did include, I know it did include water, vinegar, and tea tree in particular, because tea tree is antifungal. But yeah, cleaning with, you know, these natural products is perfect and so easy. I've never really used things like air fresheners because conventional air fresheners really irritate my ears and my migraines, so I've never really done that anyway, so it's not really something I do in my house. just have to take us as we are, I guess. If we smell, I suppose. But in terms of that as well, just slightly going off topic, I also use like natural skincare, natural deodorant and things like that as well. I will probably do another episode on that at some point. But yeah, essential oils are great. There are lots of natural stuff that you can use in your cleaning. You can use like things like soda crystals to whiten your washing. So like I said, just hopping back and forth like a scatterbrain that I am, I still want to investigate making my own dishwasher pods, but until then I am using the Ecova Zero, and it has like zero added nonsense in it, no fragrance and stuff, so that's the best that I can do without making my own. So I use those dishwasher pods, and I've also been using I sort of go between using for my washing Ecova Zero, their laundry liquid, or I use that egg thing, that reusable egg thing. I don't know, it's called Eco Egg maybe, I can't remember. So I go between the two of them. I would love to make my own laundry powder. I'm just not sure at the moment. So I have the thing that's holding me back is time, but also I use cloth nappies on my son, and I use period pants, and having used cloth nappies on my son and my daughter for so long, I know the intricacies of stuff getting stuck in the fibres and not being so absorbent, and I'm telling you, I'm not prepared to risk that on my period pants. So if you guys have any tips for naturally washing your period pants and or cloth nappies, send them to me. Come find me on Instagram. I'm over there at lifeonplot44. Come and tell me how you're getting on, because that is something that I definitely want to change. And I hope this shows you that I am not perfect. I don't do everything. I don't make everything. I am a work in progress, but I do as much as possible within the realms of what I can do. And I think that's really important when it comes to sort of living a more toxic free life and creating natural products, is that just start where you're at, start with one thing, start with that all-purpose cleaner, and just go from there. Because I think once you start, you'll realise that it's actually really easy and really effective, maybe even more effective than some of the things you've been using. But also as well, then it's more cost effective. I buy like my Castile soap, I buy 5 litres of it. I buy my vinegar is 5 litres as well, and so it's super easy. It really, really is. And I know there are things as well, like you might want to have, like I said, solutions for mold and stuff. Definitely, I will try and find the recipe for that as well. Maybe you've got pets and you have like other cleaning considerations there as well. But yeah, I hope that has been some sort of help in helping you like think about different ways that maybe you could go ahead and have more natural products in your home. Before I go though, there are some other things that are great in terms of natural cleaning rather than just the products themselves. So we use reusable kitchen roll. We use a bamboo one. I will link to it. It's fantastic. We just give it a wash and then it's done. And so we use reusable cleaning cloths as well, and so we can just chuck all this stuff in the washing machine. Much better. I haven't bought disposable wipes in, I just wouldn't even know how long. We also use like wooden compostable brushes. We use compostable sponges. Obviously we're not buying products, so we don't even need to recycle them because we've just got the one amber bottle for like each thing. So we're not having any kind of plastic at all. And yeah, So, there are so many different ways that you can start sort of a more natural sort of cleaning that even steps far beyond the chemicals and all of that of the sort of everyday. So, I would love to know how you get on. If I could suggest you try one thing as a starter, it's definitely the all-purpose cleaner. 1 cup of water, 1 cup of vinegar, and then fragrance it with an essential oil of your choice. My choice is orange. Lemon is a great one as well if you're thinking about the kitchen. So, antiviral, antibacterial, and perfect, amazing. But I am going to put all of these recipes together, and I will link to them so you can just find out what you want to try. But I promise you, it sounds daunting, but it is so easy. Once you get started, you won't want to stop because you'll realise that we're just surrounded by awful stuff. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I can't believe they allow us to have it in our homes, but there we are. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me go on about all of my, hates when it comes to toxic living, and I hope it's given you some ideas to maybe detoxify your home and start to live a bit of a more lower toxic life. So like I said, do follow me on social media. I am there on Instagram. You can find me at lifeonplot44, and come and tell me whether you've tried one of these recipes and what you think and how you're getting on, and definitely come and let me know about washing cloth nappies and period pants in homemade laundry detergents. Let me know. I'm really, really curious, and it's something that I definitely want to try. So thank you again for listening, and until next time, I will catch you in the next episode.